for us in critical thinking?
Well, I'd like to talk to you about emergency savings and how much emergency savings you specifically need.
Well, isn't that about 6 months?
Well, that's the generic advice. I saw a pundit on TV the other night say 8 months was the correct advice, but of course, you know,
I think they're extending it a little bit more.
They're just trying to be conservative for their viewers. But nevertheless, 6-8 months might not be right for you. So I've come up with 4 questions so you could critically think about your own situation and come up with your own number. The first question is what emergency is possible in your life? What emergency are you saving for?
So maybe a health problem or a job loss?
Or maybe both. Or it could be a health problem for someone else in your life that would impact your income. So anything that would impact your income that you can think of, those are the kinds of things you should be considering. The second question is, how much would you need if one of these emergencies happened?
Well, how long would I be out of work?
That's perfect example. If you're out of work for a job and it's only going to be a couple months, then you wouldn't need as much emergency savings. Other people might need quite a few months to have in the bank because their jobs are not easily replaceable. The third question is, what other things are you giving up to put money into an emergency savings plan?
So maybe giving up vacations or giving up saving for retirement?
Well, okay, so you could probably give up a little bit of your vacations to put some emergency money away. But saving for retirement, paying off debt, other things, saving for a house, especially if you're young and you're not getting into a house very easily these days. These are the kinds of questions you have to balance with an emergency savings plan. And where else you could get emergency savings money that wouldn't be just away from a bank account. And then the final question, of course, is what are the odds on this actually happening? So while you might lose your job, if you can get another job in a month, the odds are you're not going to lose your job, you're in high demand. Well, then the odds aren't very high. Your emergency savings probably doesn't need to be very high.
So I maybe say for myself, I'm pretty healthy, so it most likely wouldn't be a health issue, but maybe
I hope not.
My job might be a little iffy.
Your job might be a little iffy. Well, a lot of people's jobs are a little iffy right now, so you know that would be a consideration. So now you would plan your emergency savings accordingly. So it's not generic advice that critical thinkers use. They use their own minds to come up with what's specific for them.
And what's your takeaway? The
takeaway is don't accept generic advice, especially from TV pundits, or even from me for that matter. Think about the advice and what is this saying and apply it to your own situation. Then save as much money as you need for your situation.